Yo, what's good with y'all, man? Welcome to my channel, bro. It's Turbo Hoops, and we're gonna be talking about some hoops today, man. Now, today's topic, I ain't gonna lie, is something that might be a little oversaturated in the basketball world right now at this point, being that we're about to start this season soon. And the topic we got today is Ben Simmons and where he might be going. Now here we are, 2 months removed since the Bucks won their championship, and we still have not seen a Ben Simmons trade. Now, dude's trade value right now is the lowest it's ever been. And it isn't because Ben Simmons isn't a great player in the NBA. Although he might not be the superstar that everyone paying him out to be, the player that he's at right now is still a pretty perennial all-star level player. He's an elite playmaker and an elite defender, and probably top 5 defender in the league, if we're being honest. Mans can guard 1 through 5. He's 6'11", has the handle of a guard, and is a terror in transition when he's aggressive. Believe it or not, many teams can use that asset, but his main weakness, which is the worst part about his game in the NBA and why he is getting traded, is the fact that he cannot shoot. And having an historically terrible postseason this past season, I mean, Philly has no other choice. Now, in this video, I'm going to speak on some teams that I think he would fit best on and would potentially help that team either gain a future or can immediately impact their chances for next season. Keep in mind, I'm not going to just be throwing any team in here that possibly would fit with a Ben Simmons trade, but it will be teams that probably have the assets to make a Ben Simmons trade. So, yeah, just want to keep it a bit realistic so we're not going down almost half the NBA, you know? First team I had in mind, I'll admit, is the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, I know Damian Lillard is a whole trade rumor thing in itself as well, but let's try to stick to Ben Simmons. I don't really think that a Dame for Ben Simmons trade straight up is a good idea at all for either. Well, let me not say either side. I think if Philly was able to pull that off, then hell yeah, that's a championship level team in my opinion. But on Portland side of things, although Ben Simmons might still have some potential being that he is still young, I really am starting to believe that what he is as a player is just his ceiling. Unless the man just develops a jumper and like can shoot 70% from the line, I'm kind of done hoping that he'll be this LeBron-esque type of player that will transform a franchise. So for Portland, I can see them being an average team to maybe, ceiling being like a 6th seed in the West if they was to acquire Ben Simmons. Now, if we're looking at a trade like this happening where CJ McCollum is the one getting traded instead of Damian Lillard for Ben Simmons, then I can see a higher ceiling for Portland. But even then, I still don't think that type of a move would make them a championship level team, because they would be hurting themselves offensively. Because now you lose yourself a 20 to 23 point scorer in CJ McCollum. And although, yeah, Ben Simmons can have his moments when he is aggressive, I doubt the man will ever average over 20 points being a second option on a team, in my personal opinion. So, I mean, he would be able to provide a level of defense that Portland desperately needs on their team, and another layer of playmaking behind Damian Lillard on top of that as well. But I don't really think that it would make them a team to compete in the West. I'm just being honest. Shit, they would be interesting though, that's for sure. And they would definitely have to do something about Nurkic. Either he would have to develop like a 3-point shot, or he'd have to be in some type of trade move to get better offensively. So the next team I had in mind for Ben Simmons to possibly get traded to is the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, this one should go without explanation as well, being that Minnesota is also one of the worst defensive teams in the league. Has been that way for damn near the last decade. But yeah, he'd be a really good fit for it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Minnesota, although they might have the possible assets to get Ben Simmons in an ideal trade by including maybe Edwards or D'Angelo Russell in there, and then Malik Beasley, maybe a pick or two. But I'm gonna be honest, I mean, on Philly's side of the deal, they aren't really gaining a superstar level player that they are seeking to get. And I don't think it would put them in championship contention as well if they were to get a player of Edwards or Russell's abilities. Now, with Edwards, yes, there is unlimited potential with the guy. He does look like he's going to be a scorer in this league for days to come. But if we're talking about within the next 2 to 3 years, and with Embiid's health issues and his contract ending soon, they need more of a right now type of player to make the finals eventually. And I don't think Minnesota really provides those type of players. Now, on Minnesota's side of it, they would be gaining a player, again, that would help their weaknesses in terms of playmaking and defense. And although, yeah, they would be losing some offensive skill if they were to have to include Beasley and Russell or Edwards in a move, they would be getting a way better benefit from it on the defensive end. This would allow Towns to get more touches offensively and Ben Simmons to possibly be more of an aggressive scorer in a system like this. Do I see this really making them win a championship within the next 4 or 5 years, or whenever Cat's contract is up? I don't think so, but again, I do think this would make them a playoff team in the West, though. Possibly. Now, with 50-50 playoff chances and all these possibilities I've been saying throughout this video, look, I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all for this one. If this ends up happening and Ben Simmons ends up going to the Warriors, I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. They're going to be my pick to win the championship this year. Now, I know all these teams got their super teams in Brooklyn and the Lakers, but none of these teams got chemistry like the Golden State Warriors, for one. And two, I don't know if y'all have heard me say it before, but I always felt like Ben Simmons, if this is his ceiling, he's like a more athletic version of Draymond Green, being that they both have great court vision, are fast break threats in terms of playmaking, and also just have an offensive IQ that goes beyond just being able to shoot the ball in today's NBA. But with that being said, we know that their obvious weaknesses for both of them is the fact that they are below average shooters from everywhere on the court. Now, in Ben Simmons' case, with his offense, he can attack the rim when he is aggressive. He's 6'11" and weighs over 230 pounds, solid muscle. And for his size, he's faster than most guards in today's league. So he is a terror on the fast break in terms of athleticism. He does lack the proper footwork to really post up his defenders. So no matter how small the defender, as long as they keep him at bay from getting to the basket, isn't much of a challenge to really stop Ben Simmons offensively unless he overpowers you with his athleticism. In Draymond's case, of course, he isn't the most athletic player on the floor, so he does what he can offensively all around, but he isn't efficient at anything offensively, to really be honest with you, other than playmaking for his teammates. Now, this doesn't mean Draymond can't do anything offensively. He has his nights, you know. But when you're playing with Curry and Clay, it does make offense a lot smoother, because with those type of players, single coverage really does not work on or off the ball. And when you're playing with excellent playmakers who knows to find them in their spot, I mean, shit is going to just look so seamless with that offense if they was to acquire Ben Simmons. So, yeah, this would be a team destination favorite for me, not going to lie. This would be a really good fit. And he would have to really commit to like a role players type of, role on this type of team. So, yeah, it'd be pretty fun to see a Warriors team with Ben Simmons on it. The next team we got up is the Toronto Raptors. And guys, I shit you not, if you just Google search Ben Simmons and put any NBA team of your choice, you will find a Photoshop picture of Ben Simmons in that team's jersey for sure. Yeah, although I do feel like this wouldn't make either team a championship contender. This is me assuming that Siakam or Van Fleet would be included in the deal if it were to happen. I definitely don't think on Philadelphia's side that Siakam or Van Fleet is the key that they need to take them to the finals. And on Toronto's side, although they would be gaining a younger player with possibly more potential, they may be hurting themselves offensively because we know what Ben Simmons can do on that side of the ball. Now, although Toronto is already a solid defensive team, I do feel like he would help them in terms of their weaknesses in terms of playmaking and actually being the point guard that they need now that they lost Lowry this offseason. Van Fleet can fill that role, but he is more of a score first 3-and-D type of guard before he really thinks of getting his teammates involved. And with Ben Simmons, knowing that he is a pass first type of player, he would be looking to get his role players involved. Now, like I said, I don't believe that Ben Simmons is this superstar player that will transform the franchise unless he proves me wrong. But in the same token, I do feel like with his solid ability to get rebounds, score efficiently within the paint and assist, if you could just get him another go-to bucket scorer, some solid rebounding, which is something they've needed the past couple of years. Yeah, this team could definitely be a team that can make it deep in the playoffs. Who knows? Not with Brooklyn being the super team they are, but they could make some noise in the East, you know? Now, I think even honestly, if they get themselves some solid role players and they was just to flip Siakam for Simmons, I mean, they could make themselves a playoff team. Now, it's not to say that Simmons is better than Siakam by any means. I think they're at the same level of all-stardom, if that makes sense. But, like I said, with one of them, you're taking a hit offensively and gaining some defensively. And, I mean, I don't know. I think this move would definitely really not help Philly get to the level that they need to be at. But at the same time, they need to get rid of Ben Simmons. He's hurting that team's chemistry, and I don't think keeping him on the team would be better than just getting an all-star level player for him. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And your boy Sorbo Hoops. And if you enjoyed the video, like I said, subscribe, like the video, share the video with your mama, your uncle, your auntie, your sister, your cousin, your brother, your sister, your mother. All of them niggas, you feel me? And yeah, man, I'ma holla at y'all. Be easy, man.